Welcome back to Broke Ass EDC, home of the working stiffs, everyday carry. Now this one here, probably catch a little grief for. It's not exactly the most budget friendly. It's not in that $20, $50 range. It is one of the higher end knives, but the approach I've took to obtaining one, I think fits my budget and can fit a lot, most of y'all's. So I've sat and cruised on eBay, and I had to bid on quite a few and let them go past before I could get one in that $80 mark where somebody had bought it, loved on it a little bit, and was ready to turn it loose. So I was lucky enough and got my hands on this. It's a Demko shark lock, the AD20.5. Came with the white was still in it, the pocket clip, reversible side pocket clip, and I have the blacked out Grivory version. It has the AUS-10A blade right at 3.10 inches long, good flat grind on it, with the shark's foot, Warncliffe blade. No matter what you call that blade, somebody's going to correct you. And with the famous shark lock, which locks up, just solid. But I think the thing that got me wanting it was the fidget friendliness of it and this sound. I'm hoping that'll catch it, but it's sheer entertainment. It has drove my old lady nuts. There's a little bit of a learning curve with it, because you'll get it out to use it and you'll be reaching down here to hit the old trusty frame or liner lock, and I carried a button lock and for a couple days, and then put this one back in my pocket, and sure enough, I was trying to push that button. So it's like anything else, jumping from an automatic to a manual. A lot of y'all's done that. You're gonna reach in there and try to push that clutch even though it ain't there, or try to reach over and shift when you're going up to a stoplight. So just getting used to it, back and forth. But I tell you, I'm impressed with this Demko. 4.5 inches on these polymer handles, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but the price range that I had to get this knife in, I couldn't really be too crazy. I just wanted to make sure, because this is step one in my plan on getting this knife how I want it. Biggest thing I wanted was make sure it had that blade on it, and I'm getting this locking mechanism. Andrew Demko, if you're not familiar with him, he's got a couple other knives. The Cold Steel has the AD20.5, which is an interesting locking mechanism. That would definitely be one to look up. But if you want to get hold of this flat ground monster, it'll definitely surprise you, because it's pretty sharp. It wasn't that sharp out of the box, because I bought it used. Somebody had done a little cutting with it, but I throwed it and on the work sharp and didn't have to work it very long to get it back to that mirror edge. And it slices. You see them little curls just come off of it. It's effortless. So I mean, it's a really good knife. It's a good quality. I've racked it pretty hard, fidgeting with it. I mean, there's all kinds with the thumb studs and the hole. There's all kinds of different ways to deploy it from the flick. And I did it there, no problem. And then when I try to focus on it, you see what happens. I mean, you can. So it's definitely got some hardcore fidgeting with this thing, and it's a good knife to boot. It comes out of your pocket and you're flicking with it. People are going to ask you some questions on it. It doesn't have the open design. It has the back spacer in it, which is another thing really looking at it that falls into the future plans for this. And no deep carry pocket clip out of the box, which is another thing. This is, and like I've mentioned, a multi-step plan. Some of my materials have already arrived in the time of doing this. Plan on changing out the thumb stud. Plan on adding the back spacer in on it. Now these parts, you know, you can pick them up a little here and there at a lot of different suppliers, anywhere from $10 to $15. And if you take your time and throw it together, you're going to build the knife you want. I had to wait just a second, and if you've seen any of the videos, I'm pretty happy and pretty drawn to the jade. So I've managed to get a set of the machined Flytanium scales, the natural G10s, to put on it. I went ahead and spent the extra money to get the Flytaniums because I've already learned my lesson with some bug out scales off Amazon that give you nothing but problems. And even though, you know, in the Demko knives, when you get into the upper echelon and the high-end knives, they are American made. This one's coming out of Taiwan, but it is very, very high quality. But these parts, like this one here, I'm excited to get that. It was machined in Utah. Boy, that couldn't have happened no better, could it? I'm not going back and reshooting it. So these are definitely going to change the look on here and the grip. So I'm really looking forward to getting to turning on them. But the Demko and getting into this knife, there's a way to do it without dropping $200 and $300 right out the gate. It's taken me quite a few months to get everything lined out for the being able to do this and get the knife I want. So, you know, advice out there, just stay on your budget and see what you can get going. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, drop a comment. Don't forget, stay sharp, stay safe. See you later.